Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Teach Guru. Today I am going to discuss about the India relief features. Actually, what do you mean by relief features and what are the roles and advantages of the relief feature, that we will discuss in this chapter or in this video. Please watch the video till the end so you can understand very well the aspects of the physical features and the effects of the physical features on our daily life and how the physical features are formed. And the thing, because of these physical features, India is called as a subcontinent. India is called as a subcontinent. Now you see, most of the students will be confusing when they listen that India is a subcontinent. They will say that what do you mean by subcontinent? India is in an Asia continent, but students will think that why it is called as a subcontinent. Because all these physical features are especially present in continents, and these physical features are present in our India, and that's why instead of continent, India is called as a subcontinent because of the presence of these many physical features. Now, these physical features are nothing but the landforms. If you see, in north of our India, Himalayas are present. Most of the children are thinking that Himalayas are mountains from previous time or from the ancient time. No. Once upon a time, in place of Himalaya, there was a sea that was called as Tethys Sea. That was called as which sea? Tethys Sea. Then how the Tethys Sea has been changed into Himalayas, that we will see. On the north of the Himalayas, on the north of the Tethys Sea, there was the Angara land. And on the south of the Tethys Sea, it was called as Gondwana land. Now during pre-Cambrian period, the tectonic force has started working on the Angara land and Gondwana land. So the Angara land started moving towards the Gondwana land, and Gondwana land started moving towards the Angara land, like this. How this paper is getting raised from its surface or from the flat surface, likewise the Himalayas also have been raised because of tectonic force applied by the Angara land and the Gondwana land. You can see it very clearly. Suppose this is Angara land. North of this paper is Angara land and south of this paper is Gondwana land. When these two plates are applying the tectonic force, then what is going on? Ultimately this paper is rising. Likewise the Himalayas were raised and the Tethys Sea have been changed into the present Himalayas. But Himalayas are called as young fold mountains. Himalayas are known as young fold mountains because Himalayas are formed at the last phase of the mountain formation era. Means when the Angara land and Gondwana land started moving towards each other due to tectonic force, and whatever the force was applied on the internal surface material, and they started bulging. At the last stage, the Himalayas were formed, and that's why Himalayas are also known as young fold mountains. Young fold mountains. Then the south of the Himalayas are the Indo-Gangetic plain. South of Himalayas are Indo-Gangetic plain. In this plain, it is also called as the Great Plain. It is also called as Great Plain. Why it is called as Great Plain and why it is called as Indo-Gangetic plain? Because it is situated between the area of river Indus and river Ganges. That's why it is called as Indo-Gangetic plain. This particular plain which is situated between Indian rivers Indus and the Ganges, it is called as Indo-Gangetic plain because it is totally filled with the alluvium brought by the river Indus and river Ganges at the time of flood. Now what do you mean by alluvium? The fine and fertile particles of soil brought by the river at the time of flood. And this alluvium will be very fertile. And that is only the reason that all type of crops can be grown in between the area of Indus and the Ganges river. And though this particular plain is very fertile and responsible for the most of the agricultural production, and that's why it is called as Great Plain, and it is the place where the Aryans has established their 16 great kingdoms, then that is called as Shodasa Mahajanpadas. In this Great Plain only, or in this Indo-Gangetic plain only, the Aryans has established their 16 great kingdoms, and that particular plain is also known as Shodasa Mahajanpadas, means 16 great kingdoms. Now, when we move from Indo-Gangetic plain south, when we move towards the south from the Indo-Gangetic plain, we can see the Peninsular plateau. What is this? What do you mean by peninsula? Peninsula means irregular triangular shape of landmass which is surrounded by sea on three sides. Irregular triangular shape of landmass which is surrounded by sea on three sides. That is called as peninsula. When we come to Peninsular plateau area, we can find first one the Malwa plateau. The Malwa plateau. And second one, we can find the Peninsular plateau, that is the South Peninsular plateau. South Peninsular plateau. Now, Malwa plateau is equally producing high varieties of crops or good variety of crops because it is exactly situated south of the Great Plain. In between Malwa plateau and South Peninsular plateau, Vindhya and Satpura range are there. Vindhya and Satpura ranges are there. So, the Vindhya and Satpura ranges are the demarcation or the boundary between Malwa and the South Peninsular plateau. Next comes the coastal plains. What do you mean by coastal plains? Already I have discussed with you that Indian Peninsula, this is Peninsula. This is not a regular triangular shape. This is irregular triangular shape. On the east of this is situated Bay of Bengal, here the Arabian Sea, and to the south it is the Indian Ocean. Now, some land is available in between the coastal plains, coastal area, and the peninsular plateau, that is called as coastal plains. We are having two types of coastal plains. One is eastern coastal plain and second one is western coastal plain. Eastern coastal plain. Eastern coastal plains. This is western coastal plain. Now see here, you can see easily, I have drawn the rough diagram of eastern coastal plain and the western coastal plain. So you can see easily, there is a high width in between the sea, means what we can say, the shore of the sea and the landmass which is present. And here very less width is there. Eastern coastal plains are high width and western coastal plains are low width. Because the reason is the most of the rivers which are rising in the peninsular plateau will flow through the eastern coastal plain and will drain into the Bay of Bengal. And very few rivers like Narmada, Tapti, Mahi, Sabarmati, these rivers will flow towards the west and will drain into the Arabian Sea. These rivers are called as west flowing rivers, and these rivers Godavari, Krishna, Tungabhadra or Mahanadi, all these rivers and its tributaries are called as eastern flowing river. Why these rivers are called as east flowing rivers and why these rivers are called as west flowing rivers? Now you understand very easily. Second thing, why most of the rivers of the India will flow towards the east and will drain into the Bay of Bengal? That you have to find out. This is the question which you have to inform to me through your comments. Why most of the rivers of India are draining into the Bay of Bengal? Why not into the Arabian Sea? Okay. So next comes the desert region. This is very important topic to be keep in your mind, because this particular topic of desert region will be arising in your UPSC exams. After completion of your 10th standard, after completion of your intermediate, after completion of your degree graduation, when you will go to attend for UPSC, means Union Public Service Commission, by passing in which you can become collector or the SP or any high administrative officer. In that exam also this question may appear. Why desert is present only in the western part of our India? Because desert, it is also known as Thar Desert. It is also known as Great Indian Desert. Great Indian Desert. Now you see, again we have to take the part, peninsular part into consideration. Here is the state of Rajasthan, and this is the Aravalli range. Aravalli range. Now when monsoons will enter in our India and will flow unhinderedly towards the north, means without any obstacle towards the north, that time what will happen? This Aravalli range will not allow this monsoon winds to enter into the western part of Rajasthan because of the orographic rainfall. About orographic rainfall we can discuss in the next video, but due to orographic rainfall, the Aravalli mountain ranges will not allow the moisture laden winds to enter into the western part of India, means the Rajasthan, and this particular part will come into the area of desert. The western part of Aravalli mountain will come into the desert region. It will come into the rain shadow region, and that's why the desert is there in the western part of Rajasthan. Next comes the island groups. In our India, two types of islands are there. You can very easily identify two different types of islands. Those two different types of islands are, one is Andaman and Nicobar. One is Andaman and Nicobar. Second one is Lakshadweep. Andaman and Nicobar, Andaman and Nicobar. These islands are made up of volcanic origin. Now, what do you mean by volcanic origin? Volcanic origin means inside of the sea there was a volcanic eruption, and due to that the lava which is coming out of the volcano has deposited layer after layer, layer after layer, layer after layer like this, and it has raised above the sea water, and likewise the Andaman Nicobar Islands are formed, and that is only called as volcanic origin. Andaman and Nicobar Islands are of volcanic origin. Now when we discuss about the Lakshadweep, the Lakshadweep Islands are of coral origin. Lakshadweep Islands are of coral origin. What do you mean by coral? Whatever the dead body of the sea animal or the sea plant will get deposited layer after layer. After a certain period of some thousands of years, it will get turned into a hard stone. That is called as coral origin. That is called as coral. Coral. So Lakshadweep Islands are of coral origin. And likewise in our India, these 6 physical features. First one is Himalayas, second one Indo-Gangetic plain, third one Peninsular plateau, fourth one coastal plains, fifth one desert region, sixth one island groups. These 6 physical features or these 6 relief features will affect the climate, weather and the atmospheric condition of the total India. Tomorrow we will discuss totally about the Himalayas, its formation, the advantages and disadvantages of Himalayas. And regularly, day by day, we will discuss about the formation, advantages and the disadvantages of each and every physical feature in our India. Thank you very much. Have a good day and prepare well for your exam. Get prepared in such a manner that you should be the winner. No one should be there to defeat you.